Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to try and get the 575 figured out, or at least start trying to get it figured out.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and that is Josh. And you guys love Josh because he quacks a lot. I don't know.
YouTube.
See? I don't know why he quacks. I mean, you know, he's just got like a duck fetish. Josh is here because I don't know how to fix this thing, and he probably does. So, he's going to hopefully do that. But anyway, if you want Josh's services, go check out his website, exotic-power.com, and he can fix your cars too, most likely.
We'll see on this one.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't have to wad it up and throw it in a trash can. If you didn't know, it's got some weird errors. It doesn't really rev past 5,000. We're seeing some stuff on the computer. The battery was junk. There's a aftermarket stereo that killed the battery in about a day and a half. So we just disconnected that for now. I got the headlight off because the lights in the headlight were broken. So, I mean, it's got a lot of mechanical issues, but the funny thing is it's actually really beautiful paint-wise, interior. Everything else looks nice.
You got a Turderia and a G-Turdo.
The G-Turdo. I like it.
We addressed the things Dan said, so now the idea is we'll light it off real quick, see how it sounds, and all of the fault codes were in the right side engine control unit. There's nothing in the left. So we're just gonna fire it up and then look at some parameters and just see if there's anything obviously wrong electronically, you know, data wise, and then kind of see where we feel like we want to go from there. Here we go.
It actually already sounds better.
It's because I plugged the throttle body in.
Yeah.
Are both exhaust tips blowing hot exhaust?
Yep. Yeah.
Alright, so we got air intake mass, we got ignition, we got injection duration, engine filling. That's about right. You see our lambda, you got target and actual. It's tracking pretty well.
Okay.
I don't want to rag on it too wild just yet because you don't want to wrap it out when you got ice cold oil. It's not ideal. Okay, let's go to the left side and see what
I'm
the
gonna
left
laugh
side
if it
looks
was
like.
literally just that one plug. In which case we're just a bunch of idiots.
Well, for now, but why was there electrical tape on it, and why is it broken, and why was it not attached? Someone was in there screwing around.
Well,
Why
so you know
were they screwing around
You know
with
what
it?
Josh said?
What's that?
When these cars go to auction, people will walk up and just pull out one connector or something like
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
To get it to throw codes or run shit.
So that way they can buy it cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this thing went through auction. And then it went to a couple dealerships, and I bet they just didn't want to even touch it. The right side, the throttle position sensor was unplugged.
Motherfuckers at the auction probably did that.
That's what I just told him.
That shit happens all the time. Like if somebody really wants a car, they'll go and unplug a sensor or something and then let it run through.
We're not,
like
I mean,
shit.
we don't know that it's working yet, but it sounds better.
That's a good sign.
Right.
It does definitely sound a lot better than it did.
Oh yeah. It's fired up.
Oh yeah. That's like,
That's way better. Oh my god. Dude.
wouldn't that be a son of a bitch?
Yes. I mean, that'd be hilarious if that's really all it was.
I mean, you won't really know until you...
Yeah, we gotta drive it.
Yeah, you gotta do the drive cycle and get all the readiness monitors to set and make sure it doesn't pop any other faults and stuff. I mean, all the lambda values and stuff are okay. Yeah, see your right cat temp, it's showing 572. 1200's not.
1200? Oh,
that's like wide open throttle, full.
Yeah, something's messed up there.
So far, all your base values look fine. There's nothing.
Shit. Wonder if we should try put down the road?
Check the,
Might as well.
the light on the clutch.
Oh yeah, while you're in there, can you see what the clutch is?
Yeah.
Well, so it probably needs a clutch.
There you go. Here's clutch wear. 80%.
Oh. 80% worn or left?
Yeah, worn.
Okay, 80% worn.
With that, you know, with an 8mm delta.
Yeah, so
that's
it's got
80%
20% left.
So if we do a conversion, we'll put a new clutch in.
Yeah, if we do the conversion, we'll put the clutch in because we're gonna be in there anyway. Okay. I can't believe that.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see if that was it, but I mean,
Well, it's not misfiring like it was. That's what I was.
no, it definitely fixed issues we were
My
seeing.
worst case scenario in my mind was that it had a dead hole.
Oh yeah, like one of the
Yeah.
cylinders was toast. Yeah. Yeah. So what happened was we were monkeying around with the battery because the battery is dead, and Josh comes in here and he starts poking around. He's like, "Oh hey, look, here's the plug for the throttle body." And it's just sitting there unplugged, and it's already got tape on it. So someone's been in there before monkeying with it. Who knows what they were doing? But yeah. Anyway, that's nuts. Started way better.
So you've got the 355 and the early 360, which were the non-adjust, and then you got the 201, which is the first adjust, and then you got the 231, and then you got the 301. So this and most of the 430s have the 231, and then a little bit later they started going to the 301.
So it's the same one as the 430.
430, yeah. It's interesting because it's got the 360 styling, but it got some of the 430 good stuff.
Yeah, the 12s always get the
You
new
get the
tech.
later, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, right? Because you're paying extra money for the flagship car with the new technology, but Italian for new means not fully developed.
Right. So by the time it goes into the V8, you're like, hey, it works.
Exactly. You're paying extra money to be part of the development team.
What's your opinion on these cars overall?
They're fine.
They're
I
fine.
mean, the F1 system's kind of whatever in these cars, but the thing with the 575s is because emission stuff got a lot tighter, so the exhaust manifolds on these motors are tractor manifolds, like literal tractor manifolds, and they got 8 O2 sensors.
Holy shit.
Because the 12s are all manifolded 3-into-1s, right? So each manifold has a front and rear.
Holy
Okay,
shit.
on the 550s, every manifold has a front sensor, but then they Y-piped it, you know, into a cat. So then you've got
two in
one, one on each bank. But these got one on every manifold. So there's 8
No
lambda
way.
sensors, which is a bitch, and they're tractor manifolds that flow like garbage. So when you put good manifolds on these things and remap them and stuff,
Pick up quite a bit.
they pick up a
That's
lot
funny, 'cause
of
that's a-
power.
That's probably a bitch to do those.
Oh, dude, I did manifolds on the 599, and that was a pain in the ass.
Yes,
And that has more room than this.
it's a lot of work.
Is it,
That one has
is it
6.
like raise the engine out of it sort of deal, or?
A little bit, but you gotta take the whole, because the way the exhaust system all stacks,
unbolt
you
it
gotta,
all?
you gotta take the mufflers off and then take the whole exhaust system off before you take
jeez.
it's a project. But they sound so much better.
I bet.
They
'Cause they
run-
sound weird from the factory.
I noticed this has a Tubi exhaust. Did they come with that on these?
No,
So that's aftermarket exhaust then.
a lot of people, we used to put tubies on these cars. I mean, when the Challenge Stradale came out, the car wasn't even out of warranty, and Ferrari Steve, when I worked for him, we put a Tubi muffler on it because they're just so quiet and mellow
Yeah.
out of the factory. So a lot of guys would do Tubi rear sections on these cars.
Yeah, because it's pretty cheap. It's just a muffler.
Mhm.
Like, it literally is just a muffler on these. God, it sounds so much better.
To me, this is my last favorite Ferrari, the 550 and the 575s. Like
East or last?
last.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So when we put a gate in here, you're going to be pretty happy?
I would buy it in a heartbeat if I could.
Well, I'll at least let you drive it.
Hell yeah, I'm excited. Like,
Yeah.
if there's a gated car, I would want to drive it would be this one.
Oh, this would be a perfect cruiser to go out in the hill country with the gate.
Now we know that 6mm PI. So it was 7.3 when I looked at it,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
and now it's 6.
You took off a millimeter.
1.3 millimeters.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah. So between that.
So I
and
remember
some
doing
of
that 430, we had to do it like point something millimeters, and it was a huge difference.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So whoever serviced this car last,
Sucked.
yeah, they sucked.
Okay.
They did terrible disservice to the car, but hey, good for you guys.
Hey, thanks. Hey, it means we got a deal, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what we look. Hey, we find the turds and we try and polish them.
That's it.
It's like it's engaging better than it used to.
Well, yeah, I took a 1.3 millimeters out of the f***ing release bearing travel. Basically just rebuilt the clutch.
It's like, whoa, this is how it's supposed to drive.
This thing sucks. No, your mechanic sucks. Top 5 worst mechanics coming soon.
Text or something.
Always driving sport.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's one of the best things about this car.
problem.
Dang.
These cars blow the rear tires off absolutely no problem at all.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not it then.
No.
Shit.
Half throttle, and it's like, okay, that's fine. We'll drive along at half throttle.
Yep.
It's so wonky too.
Oh, it's not like.
This is wide open.
Yeah.
Second gear.
Yeah, so basically half throttle feels okay, and then you go to full throttle and it just.
We still have some potentiometer, so maybe it's just a bad gas pedal. Track 2 accelerator potentiometer 1151 too low, and 1189.
Is that built into the pedal on these?
Yeah, because it's drive-by-wire, so
So
there
it's like
will
the 458 that I did.
So we need to find a pedal.
probably. Let's see here. So here's our potentiometers, right?
Yeah.
See how
It's only going to 30. Whoa! It's slowly
Is that
crawled up.
control-
People freak out, you know, like the Prius shit with the unintended acceleration,
Yeah.
all this stuff. The way they help prevent that is they do 2 different switches and they operate inversely. So one will usually increase in voltage and one will decrease inversely. And there's a correlation between the 2 sensors, and that's the control logic it uses to, you know, do everything.
And the one is not moving at all, really.
Not really. On the 458, remember we put the DVM, you know, the scope and whatever on it, and then watch and you can see the values jump as it's going through the sweep. It's a little bit harder because, you know, this is a filtered signal, right? On the software. See, this is what's a little weird here. If you look at potentiometer 1 and 2, right? They were pretty comparative right there, and now right here, right, we step up. See, this table here stops and we're still flat here. Now it goes up, and then see how it waves here. We've got a different range of motion there. We'll have to double check and make sure it's not something where it only wires straight to the right hand ECU and then the ECU tells the left side what to do. But it's kind of weird that there's no voltage on the left side.
So Josh is now trying to pin out some of the wiring harnesses because that's, I guess, the next thing to check.
Yeah, it seems like we have a electronic throttle control issue, so we're gonna go through and test all of that.
Okay.
Power, ground, continuity,
Yep.
the resistance range on the throttle pots. Yeah, we got a bunch of tests in my Magic Bible book.
Because I know a bunch of people on the internet were saying, oh, it's a fuel delivery issue, and they're like, oh, it's the fuel pumps or the fuel filter, but the problem is the fuel filters or the fuel pumps in this car look like they've already been changed.
Yeah, fuel pumps are always a reasonable expectation. It was certainly my first expectation because it's a super common problem. But yeah, we're past that point. What it's doing is it's not that it's not making power, it's not responding to the throttle input. So for the first little bit, it goes, and then when you roll the pedal, it's not. Because the way fuel injection works, right? You command the pedal, and then based on how much throttle opening is, it will recalculate the fuel injector timing and the ignition timing, and that's how it actually will increase power, right? Adds fuel and then adds timing as RPM increases.
Yeah.
So when you're sweeping the throttle open, for whatever reason, the computer is not increasing injection timing and ignition timing to make more power. It's basically just ignoring the throttle signal. More like it's in a limp mode than it's not making power. The question is why? Is there a bad signal from the pedal, or is it limiting it at the actual throttles? Yeah. So now it's detective work time.
Okay. Inspector Josh on the scene.
Yeah, we'll see. Power supply for acceleration 1 potentiometer. So now we go to power supply for potentiometer number 2. It's 5 volts within half a volt.
It's supposed to be 4 point. Well, the other one was 4.3.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 5 volts.
Ugh. The hell would cause that? I think it's the throttle potentiometer.
Yeah, so acceleration potentiometer number 2 with the pedal released is supposed to have 3.7 volts. But obviously can't have 3.7 volts because there's only 1.4 volts of supply. Now we want to look at the electrical circuit and see where if the supply comes directly from the through the ECU or what. So like right now, the quick check would be to pull that ECU and this ECU and swap them and see.
You can do that?
Usually. Let's go to the wiring diagram and see
Where it comes from?
yeah, how that's supposed to get fed power. That goes to 41067, which is our big wiring harness connector. So we just pinned out our throttle position sensor, right? Pin 5 goes to what I believe is going to be just a ground branch. So it's a junction in the harness that several ground wires will attach to, and at some point, you know, it goes to the chassis, but basically 4 or 5 components all converge and then follow a single ground trace. But the others all go to the ECU, pins 33, 34, 35, 36, and 73. So now here we've got a breakdown on what each one of these are, right?
Yeah.
So now we'll double check here. So pin 33 says reference ground for acceleration, pedal to potentiometer, signal, and reference for earth. So when we did our test, it was 73 and 33 stabilized voltage for potentiometer 1 and potentiometer 2. Now what I'm thinking is we want to just go to ground with the meter and then do an output, could be, because according to this makes me think we either have a power output issue or we have a ground circuit issue. We got 3.6 volts, which I think is
That's what we had before, right?
no, we had 1 point, we were down to 1 point whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's pin 73,
73 or 72?
5 volts. So we know we've got 5 volts and 5 volts.
But we only get 4 point something on the actual device, right?
4.3, but I mean it's a potential resistance potentiometer, so there's always going to be something. The bigger problem is on the circuit that we think we have an issue on, we were down at 1.4 volts.
Yeah.
So now we know for sure we've got good output there. We don't have a low voltage output from the ECU, which we already knew because we swapped the ECUs, but now we know. Yeah, now we know.
We know.
Yes. Maths. Cars are the result of maths. 770 millivolts with the pedal released, and we're at 72, so we're close. Now we gotta press the throttle, and wide open should be 385. Okay. Pretty close.
3.8, 3.78.
And so this probably explains why we had such different voltages. So we're millivolts on potentiometer 1, and we're 3.7 to 1.85 on number 2. So number 2 is going to be 34 and 33. So that's 36 and 37, right? It's only showing a half a volt. And this one here should be, with it released, should be 3.7 volts. So it looks to me like we've got a sensor problem, a throttle position sensor problem.
Okay. Because
potentiometer 1 tested correctly. We had about 770 and about 385, and now we should have 3.7 and 1.85, and we've only got 0.45. See, that's all the way down. It's 1.85, so that's about right. But it's supposed to go up. Yeah, we can either swap over the throttle position, the throttle pedal sensor from the 430 and check it and see what it does, and then the next checks are all continuity checks, resistant checks for
throttle body?
Yeah, for the throttle bodies.
Round 2. Okay.
Any minute now. That was acceleration.
It actually felt torquey.
Like I said, the messed up manifolds and the extra cats definitely neuter the power a bit, but...
Oh my god. Holy shit! It made it past 5,000. Dude. Oh, yes. We have
How many dealers you said worked on this car?
like 5. I'll show you the title. It's hilarious. It's like
Rookies.
it's dealer to dealer to dealer, and they all monkeyed with it and couldn't figure it out.
You know, there's this guy who I told to get via email a few months ago, and he left me a shitty review on Google.
Oh, really?
Thank you for that. Yeah, saying that I told him to get and how he thought it was ludicrous that my price for work was more expensive than what the dealership had quoted him.
Uh-huh.
But every time I work on a car like this that a dealership couldn't fix, I laugh at people like that.
Yeah.
They definitely have advantages, but you know, when you get into these older cars, they only have so much time and resources they're willing to allocate to this stuff. At some point, you know, really the dealership service department's there to support warranty and sales.
Yeah. Well, oh my God, it feels so much better. It feels like it.
I'd call that pretty fixed.
Well, now all we need to do is a timing belt service and change it to a gated, and we're done.
Rock and roll. Much like on your 458, right? We didn't have no signal from.
It was just wonky signal.
It was just wonky signal, which diagnosing that requires experience, because if you don't know what clean signal looks like, then you don't have a reference point for what a wonky signal would be.
Just so you guys know, what we did is we took the 430 because it has the exact same pedal potentiometer, and we just swapped it to see if it worked. And
yeah, and then, you know, I put the meter on it and redid the test sweep, and it looked like better, more consistent readings. And then I also hooked up with the scan tool and logged it, and that looked better too.
oh my God, it works! Yes, dude!
There you go.
Holy shit!
You have all your power now.
Oh my God, Josh, you were my hero.
Because yeah, before I could.
Oh no, you couldn't even. Oh yeah.
And it did nothing. It just was
Yeah,
like.
it was like.
Yep.
Holy shit!
You have horsepower again.
So this is what this car is supposed to feel like.
Yeah, a little bit better.
A lot of it better.
A lot of it better.
I need to show you guys, like, legitimately, this car's been to 4 or 5 other dealers, obviously being punted back and forth because no one wanted to deal with it, they couldn't fix it or whatever. Josh saw all sorts of signs of stuff they'd been monkeying with and not doing correctly.
Yep.
And here he's been working on it for, what, it's 6 o'clock, we got there at 2, so 4 hours?
Yeah.
4 hours. Yeah.
Notice it shifts better too. It's not all.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't doing that
Clunky.
clunk, clunk, clunk.
No, it's much sharper.
Wow. It sounds good now.
It sounds like it's making all of the ignition, timing, and fuel.
Yeah. It's so badass.
Great success.
Hell yeah, it was. So that's the part. That is the potentiometer. And you can see what happens is it's connected to the pedal, and it just kind of moves like that as you push the pedal. And that tells the computer to open the throttle butterflies and give it timing and stuff. So obviously ours was, well, not doing that. While Josh is kind of buttoning everything back up, just a reminder, if you would like to hire Josh, go check out exotic-power.com, send him an email or a contact or whatever, and get in touch with him and he can hook you up. Obviously, he knows his shit. 4 hours to solve something that 4 or 5 dealerships couldn't solve over the course of like over a year. There you go. $300 part. Not bad. Yeah, we'll take it. So now that this car is back in business, we're gonna do a major on it, and we're gonna probably convert it to a manual, and then it's gonna cost like, you know, I don't know, a lot more. It needs it. We want to. So there you go. If you guys would like to support us, please like, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate that. And of course, you can go visit normalguysupercar.com. There you can buy parts and services for your car. Use the code NGS10. It hooks you up with 10% off most of the things we sell. And of course, if you're interested in this car, email us sales@ngsupercars.com. Also, if you want to buy any of the other cars we have in stock, same thing. Check out ngsupercars.com. But that's gonna do it. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We're gonna be doing a lot of cool car stuff, so you're gonna want to stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.